the Fenix GL23R weapons light. Let's check it out. Guys, when it comes to Fenix, they've been in business for over 20 years and they just produce really high quality lights, rechargeable batteries, and they have some really unique and cool designs. Today we're going to take a look at one of their weapons lights, and this is the GL23R. It is a light laser combination, 3 different modes, has a really nice anodized finish, and it's very easy to get to, adjustable rail. A lot of cool features, and we're just going to check it out. It's 1200 lumens and it'll get up to 240 meter beam distance. So this is a very capable light. And guys, when it comes to your self-defense firearm, especially home defense, having a light on your firearm helps you to identify, especially in the dead of night. And guys, light is your #1 security tool. And we want to give a big thank you to Fenix for sending the GL23R for this review. Fenix has been around since 2001, so for 24 years they've been making lights and have really created some very unique and innovative light. This is the GL23R. It is a weapons light. It's light at 1200 lumens and light and laser, and then just green laser. We're going to look at some details. There are some things I really do like about this weapons light. And honestly, I'm a big fan of Fenix already. I have a number of Fenix lights. In fact, one of the first that I have reviewed is the LD30. This is a great little light. I love the accents, that kind of a bronze looking accent. It's still more of a tactical use if I want to use it as a self-defense tool, and it puts out a lot of light. And then we have the TK11R. This is more of a tactical self-defense, larger light, security light. Gets a lot of lumens out there. But one of my favorite lights from Fenix is the EO6R, and this is a tiny little flat flashlight. It's a perfect EDC light. It has great performance. I'll have the review right above, but one of the things that's very unique is if you double click this little disc, it has this ambient little light that comes out. And then if you click it again, it'll go to red, blue, flashing red, and then it goes back to the ambient colors. What I love about this, at first I thought it was kind of a gimmick, but when I put this on my nightstand next to my firearm, this goes for a considerable amount of hours, and I can't remember the exact time. But you can set this next to your firearm and it will give an identification of where it is. If you wake up to a bump in the night, you'll see this light, and then you'll know that the gun's right there. That's just a cool feature to me, but also it's just neat to have. But I'll have a full review again of this above. But now we've got this on the Bull Armory EDC. This is an excellent 2011 or double stack 1911 pistol. But this light fits really well on here. And so let's look at some of the details. First, we have ambidextrous toggles here, or control switches at the back. Now for that, you can just lift up and it comes on. But it's momentary. So if I just press it and release, it just comes on and off. I think that's a very natural way to do it. And then if we go down, it's constant on. So it's just immediate constant on. It's 1200 lumens, that's it. But man, it gives you the light you need immediately. Now down here below, you can go to the off setting. So you've got your lockout, and then we can move it to light. And then we have light and laser. It is a green laser, it's high intensity, and we're going to talk about the specs in a second. And then we just have laser. So I'm going to bring that down. We've got a green laser, bring it over, we have light and laser, and then again, we have just light. And man, it's bright. The camera's adjusting for it, but it is incredibly bright. In fact, it's hot on my hand. The laser is situated at the bottom with the controls, and this really aligns very well with your light to be able to adjust it to your point of aim. We also have a mineral glass lens, and we have a really high intensity LED. And this gives you a lot. We're going to show some performance of this when we take it out to the range. One thing though that I do like too is this secure mounting feature. Now this is the screw type, and so instead of a quick latch, which honestly I like that with the Olights, but this gives you just a little bit more security, and they do offer that as well. And so just a screwdriver, and then we're going to turn it, because I've got a couple of features that are underneath the hood that I want to show as well. Here we have your rail. Now I believe it's 1.68 inches from the rail to the trigger guard with this setup. Now you'll notice GL for Glock, and you'll have these arrows, and you can turn this and then pull it out. Yeah, just pull this out, and then we can rotate it to the back side. And that way you can adjust it between here and here, which a lot of times Picatinny rails, you're trying to get to that right point, and it's kind of difficult to do. One thing that's cool though is it not only comes with this Glock rail, it also comes with a 1913 Picatinny rail. So that'll give you just a little bit more of a secure fit, and instead of taking a screw and unscrewing it and pulling it off, this way you can just turn it, it locks into place. So we're going to put the 1913 rail in. Then again, we just turn it. And once you get it into place, it's really easy. And then again, just take it out. And once it's locked on, it's locked into place. Here you have your adjustment right here with this screw, so you can set this up. But the fit and finish on this is really well done. Now it does have an icon for your battery, and it shows you the polarity. And then here we have these arrows, and of course turn up, and this just unscrews. And then we have our 18350 battery. This is rechargeable, 1100 milliamps. And it's a little bit larger than your CR123, so they're not interchangeable. But you can charge it that way on a charger, or here on the side we have a small boot, and it does come with a USB-C cable. You can just plug that in, and you can charge it without having to remove the battery. And you can charge that either way with the light on the gun itself, so that makes it really convenient. And with the Glock rail attached, of course, it goes right on your Glock, and you just tighten it down and you're ready to go. And so now we have it attached to our Glock. But a lot of times these rails will work even with the 1913 Picatinny rail. But when you give it the 1913 rail section, it's just going to be a better fit. And it's great because it's really easy to reach those controls, however you want to do it. Now, something I've never seen before, with the little switches, the toggles, they have additional sizes. So you have the large size, you have the small size, and then I believe it comes with the medium. And to change that out, there's a little hex screw. And so you just replace this hex screw, and again, it comes with the wrench, and you can take them off. Very simple to do. I would put a little Loctite on that if there's not some already. Now, so while 1200 lumens gives you an indicator, this actually gets 14,400 candela. That's like 14,400 candles, that kind of power. So it gives out a really intense amount of light. Also, we have a 240 meter beam distance. It is IPX66, which means that it's waterproof, not necessarily submersible, mainly because of the USB-C, but this can take a steady stream of water, no problem. So the elements are not a problem. Also, it is 1 meter impact resistant. Now, with that being said, they have impacted this 10,000 times during their testing phase, and they shot 5,000 rounds of ammunition through the gun with it attached, just to make sure that the laser retained zero. The light itself was great, but they guarantee not more than a 2 MOA shift or less. And so that's really good to be able to stay on target. And it has a runtime of 1 hour on the 1200 lumen setting. If you have just a laser, it'll go for 13 hours. 3.43 inches in length, and it's 1 3/4 inches in height, and it's about 1 inch in width. And it weighs 4.23 ounces. Big thank you to Fiocchi for sponsoring our ammo, all made in the USA, one of the largest suppliers of ammunition in the country. Also, big thanks to Lula Loaders for making range day a lot of fun. Now to get things started, we went to the range just during the day. We wanted to test out a bunch of centerfire pistols, just shooting it, testing it. We shot about 500 rounds through it. No flicker, it just shows up well. It mounts really well to the handgun. It gives it just a little bit of weight at the end, which actually helps absorb some recoil. But then again, you have that light action if you need it. Now during the day, it's not as important, but we like to shoot rimfire at night with suppressors, so we wanted to give this a good go with your standard ammunition and with centerfire. And guys, it held up extremely well. Then we went to our night shooting just to get a really good essence of what the light could do. And definitely a large, broad area. The 1200 lumen was really bright. Added the green laser, and the green laser showed up extremely well. I mean, it has a really high intensity, and it just shows up on target. And again, you match that up to your sight or even your regular sights, your iron sights, and it gives you the ability to find that laser very quickly. And with the light, it helps you to identify. One of the problems is you want to have a backup light because you don't want to be pointing a loaded firearm at a family member or someone that you don't intend to, stop whatever they're doing. And so having this light, though, gives you the ability to see and to get on target. The one thing I thought was pretty cool that they included was an extra cover for your USB-C cable. And so we can take this and pull it off. There's a small screw that retains it. And once you take that off, you can just reattach this second little boot. This gives you something to have right in your box. And also there is an additional O-ring that's included. Now I don't always show a box, but there's a feature in here that I really like. And it's just one of those boxes you can see where I've already torn it. But inside we have a small tray, and there's a little tab here. You just pull it out. And of course your light is secure. But in the back, this little cover, it reveals all your different parts. Now you'll have your owner's manual, which is nice, and your registration. But then we have our little toggles or our switches. And we have our small little screw, and we have the cover and the O-ring, and then we have our USB cable. So those parts you may or may not have, but you might want to find them later. And so that way you can just keep them in the box. And of course you'll probably have your light out on your handgun, but you have all your accessories in this little box. I thought that was pretty cool. Now when it comes to price, these run $139.95, and that's retail price. I'm sure that you can get them less on Amazon or at different retailers. So a very capable light, 1200 lumens, 240 meter beam distance, 14,400 candela, so it's going to give you a bright light. And I like the laser, rechargeable, and I love this finish. Also the switches. This is a very intuitive way just to be able to just get that light how you need it. And again, you've got that lockout feature that's really easy just to turn off. But when it's on, and then light and laser, and laser. So a lot of capability, really cool light. And with the laser on the bottom, it does add a little bit to the size. And that's probably the only con that I have. But it does line up well with the light and with your sights. A lot of times now they're incorporating the lasers in the lights, and so that just makes them a little more streamlined. Again, Fenix has been around since 2001, so for 24 years plus, they've been making some really high quality lights. And I do really like their line of flashlights and their weapons lights. So guys, having a weapons light is vital for your home defense or for even your concealed carry. And having that way to be able to identify, especially when you have to pull that trigger and you want to know what's in front of you. So guys, the Fenix GL23R, a very capable light. And of course you have your three options of light, laser, and light and laser. And it's high quality. Again, they've been around for over 20 years. Lifetime warranty, and they're just very easy and intuitive to use. And guys, I've been impressed with Fenix for a long time. They have a number of different very cool and innovative options for lighting. And guys, again, remember that light is your #1 security tool. So make sure you have a good quality light. And again, a big thank you to Fenix for sending the GL23R for this review. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. you have that full light. This is too close, too freaking close. Of the, whatever this is, what is this? EO6R. I might not remember the name, but this is a cool light. It's kind of fun, but there is some good things about that. Okay.
You don't want that.
And so it goes to different modes, and it's not doing it. Dang it. How does it do that?